There are a lot of names for the black dog up and down the country. The shuck, the padfoot, the trash and the barguest. It's said that you encounter it on lonely country roads at night. It's also said that if you do see it, you will meet your end within days. I was hiking across the moors with my friend John. We had pitched our tents up to camp in a secluded spot, just off the road in a small wood where I was waiting for him, cooking up some sausages in the pan while he was off gathering wood for us to make a fire before nightfall. I'd kept in contact with him by shouting. We knew not to go too far in case we got lost. The fog can roll in quickly out there, and before you know it, you're stuck in the middle of it, unable to see a few feet in front of you. So every few minutes he shouted David, and I shouted John back. I hadn't heard him shout for a few minutes, and then it came, a scream. I stood up and started shouting my friend's name into the trees, and soon I heard him crunching quickly over the sticks and twigs. He appeared in front of me with no wood. His face was white. He wouldn't speak for ages, looking like he'd seen a ghost. I gave him the bottle of whiskey I'd been nursing, and he necked some of it, and finally he told me. It had appeared from behind a tree, he said, this huge black dog. It was wet looking and had too many teeth in its mouth. Its eyes weren't dog's eyes, he said. They were human eyes. I asked him what it did, and he said it didn't really do anything. It just looked at him with those horrible eyes without making a sound. It hated me, he said. It wanted me to die. I tried to calm him down and tell him it was probably just a farmer's dog on the loose, but he shook his head. No, you didn't see it. He went into the tent after that and took the whiskey with him. I got up the next morning, and when he didn't come out of the tent after I called him a few times, I unzipped it and saw that he wasn't there. His coat was still in there, his backpack, and all his stuff including his shoes. I climbed out and shouted into the trees, but if he could hear me, he wasn't letting on. When I looked down, I saw something terrifying in the mud around the doorway of his tent. There were paw prints, massive ones like a lion had been in the camp, but the only other footprints were mine. If he wasn't responding to my calls because he couldn't, because he was unconscious or worse, then he needed proper medical attention, and I couldn't give that. I threw some belongings in my backpack and set off, leaving the tents behind so they wouldn't weigh me down. I walked, and every time I let myself stop for a breather, I started wondering why I didn't see his footprints walking away from the tent, and wondering if the paw prints were made by that dog he'd been talking about, the one with too many teeth. Then I looked up to see where the sun was, worried about how fast it was crossing the sky, and set off again. My feet were killing me, but eventually I saw the lights of the little town where we'd parked the car. It was pretty much dark now, but I reckoned I was going to make it back to the car before it got pitch black. There was a crossroads up ahead, I noticed, remembering it from when we'd walked past it on the way to pitch the tents. And then I stopped dead because there was something standing right in the middle of it. Something I almost hadn't noticed because of how dark the sky was. Because of how dark it was. It started trotting toward me, and I saw it was a great black dog. The closer it got, the more of its face I saw, and I realised John had really seen it after all. Its mouth was overflowing with sharp teeth, like some kind of messed up shark, drooling onto the ground. Its paws should have been slapping on the road. It was too big and heavy looking to not make a noise, but it didn't. There were no footsteps as it got closer, only silence. It stopped in front of me, and I looked at its eyes, petrified, and my blood ran cold. Human eyes looked back. I was more scared than I've ever been in my life in that moment, and I knew this wasn't a dog. It was a thing that looked like a dog. I dreaded to think what it really looked like. And then it was gone. I didn't see it leave, it just stopped being there. I was alone at the crossroads. In spite of my sore feet and exhaustion, I ran the last half hour back to town, and collapsed into the car and locked the doors. A couple of days later, and I'm back home in the city. I had to tell the police that John had gone missing, and they were understandably suspicious, but had gone to look for him. They had taken the mountain rescue helicopter out and everything. I don't think that they're going to find him. I'm alone in the flat, and I just woke up from this terrible dream where I was being torn to pieces by dogs. But I wouldn't die, even when my arms and legs and head were all over the place. I could still feel them chewing me up. As I come around, I notice, over on the other side of the room, a black silhouette against the curtains, triangular ears pricked up. It's huge, just like it was back at the crossroads. But this time, it's growling